Today we'll be learning how to make a menu and scene selection screen using Adobe Encore and Premiere Pro. Alright, so open Premiere Pro and wait for it to load, of course. And remember, you have to have it set to the folder you have on your desktop or the destination you want it to be in. Remember to always keep your files in one folder so that when if you have to move it for any reason, it'll be in that. Remember to name it. Naming mine how to for the location. Remember, set it to the folder you want it to be set to. In my case, it's called how to stuff. Make sure also that the scratch discs are same as project, which they are, and it's okay. Remember your presets. You can name your sequence now or later, but remember your presets, depending on the camera you used. Just ask Pops or one of the helpers if you need any help on presets. Alright, so remember, bring your video down and into your timeline. Play it. You can see I don't have a scale to frame size. You just command click and then go to scale to frame size. Just right there. Alright, you can play it to see. That's how I want to keep it. I don't want to mess with it. Alright, so then now go to File, New, and open Dynamic Link, send to Encore. Okay, so now your project, once Encore opens, it'll be sent to a different timeline there. And from there, you'll be able to make your menu and scene selection screen. But you're going to have to go into Photoshop in order to do that. I'll show you right now, though, before we start any of that. Alright, so this will pop up. And then remember to name your project, and I'll name mine how to project. And then location, remember, make sure mine is alright. And remember, don't mess with Blu-ray or DVD. Just leave it at DVD and then don't mess with transcode settings. Alright, okay, and it'll prepare your transcode settings. And it loads, and it imported, and you can see you have a timeline now. You have a bunch of other boxes. Alright, wait for it to load, and there it is. Now command click, and then add chapter points at intervals, and then set it for every minute, for every 2 minutes, for every 30 minutes, depending how big your video is. In my case, I'm going to set it for 80. This is a little bit tricky. And then remove existing chapter points, and it gives you some chapter points now. I actually made it for you, which is cool. Alright, you could move them around like so. Just mess with it for a little bit. See where you want your chapter points to be at. Let's say I don't want this one. I command click and then delete chapter point. And I'll move this one to the end, close to the end. And 6 there, 5 there, 4 there, 3 there, 2 there. Well, it's all up to you and how you want to move it and make them even. Make sure to make them even. I tried my best to make them even, but I know 6 and 7 aren't. Okay, so now you click your sequence, chapter point, and you can name them. It's up to you if you want to name them. It'd be nice to name them. I'll just name chapter 1 beginning, just to show you guys. Alright, so now what I will be doing is taking a screenshot of where each chapter starts at. Well, let's see. You can move it around a bit, just like Premiere. Alright, so I'm saying chapter 1 starts on that picture, so then you can Command Shift 4 you press. You have to actually hold Command Shift 4 and then release it. You'll get that. You'll see that your cruiser changed to a crosshairs, and then you just bring it down to what you want to take a screenshot of, and then you release it. Well, you click, yeah, release it. Alright, there it is. Then number 2, Command Shift 4, here it is, see? Then click, and then let go. There you go. Do it for all your chapters, and you'll see why you need this. Okay, and these photos, they'll actually be on your desktop, and I'll show you in a bit once I finish taking screenshots of all these other ones. These photos are gonna be used for the scene selection, as you can probably tell already. You can adjust how big they are once you enter Photoshop too. So, but it's good to just get the full photo and just try not getting much black or background of the photo. Alright, so now you can minimize it, and you have your Premiere, which is not gonna let me do anything with it. Alright, so now as you can see that the screenshots you took will be on your desktop. Now just put them to one side so you can just grab them all together in the end. Like how I'm doing right now. Just want to put them all together. Alright, so let's make our menu screen. Open Photoshop. Alrighty. Alright, let it load. Okay, now you have to go to File and New, or Command N. Now your width has to be 1920, and your height has to be 1080. And your resolution has to be 72. Remember, your background contents has to be just background color. Just always set to that. Or it's just up to you. Alright, so you get this black screen or background, I should say. And now, let's go download a picture from Google. Okay, so I'm gonna go search for a random picture. I'm gonna search a picture of this one guy that my project is about. Alright. Let's say I want this picture. Command, click, save image as, and set it to your desktop or wherever you want it to be. I'm gonna send it to my how-to stuff. Save. And there it is. Alright, so just close this screen, or you can just keep on downloading pictures. And I just go to my how-to folder, move it up here, click it, and there's my picture, and just drag it onto Photoshop. There it is. So I'm gonna put it over here. This is gonna be used to make our menu screen. And I think I want to make this bigger. So let me just move this to scale it for a bit. And then now just go to your typing tool. And I think I'll call this Nice Legacy Left Behind. You could change the color. I'll change it real quick. I don't like this color, so I'll just change it to that. Just remember to highlight it. Change it. I'll just keep it at that. It doesn't really matter. It's just up to you how you like it. Okay, so now... Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so now you have to place it. And then type in play. And then you have to place it, or just the cruiser, the type tool, type scene selection, or whatever you want to call your next screen. And actually I want it to line up, so just line up for both. Alright, now just move it. I'm gonna move my play to the middle, and that's what I'm gonna do with my scene selection also. But you have to go to your cruiser again, and then your text tool, or you could just go off to the side and click scene selection and then click on it. Alright. Play and then click on it, move it. Okay. And from here, you command click and you go to convert to smart object. And that makes it a smart object, and you'll see what it does later. Okay. Once you have a smart object clicked, you go and do that to your scene selection also. And you convert them both into smart objects. Remember, just file, save as, name your project. I'm naming how to menu. Oh, can't spell. And set it to how to folder, or whatever your folder is called, and click OK. Exit out. Now there's your menu screen. So now go back to Encore. And then from Encore, you'll have to go to your menus tab up on the left corner. There's menus, and then you just drag your how to menu. If I can get it to, hold on, there you go. Okay, now it shows up there, and then now you can't just click on it, because I mean it just doesn't show. You're just gonna have to command click and then select. But let's work on our scene selection menu. Okay, go back to Photoshop, file, new, name it. It's up to you. Remember, I'm naming this scene selection. Remember, resolution 72, height 1080, width 1920. Alright, background color, okay, we're good. Alright, get this again. Now just, you can do, now you have to type scene selection, of course, or whatever the screen is going to be called for you. Okay, so now what you can do is actually go and drag your pictures all onto Photoshop, and you'll see them. You'll just have to resize them here, make them equal to each other, basically, in size. And you'll see, let me fast forward a bit, because you don't want to see all that. Okay, so I have all the pictures, right? Now you go back to Encore, and then you go back to your chapters and see where each picture goes and stuff. Like so. Alright. And there you go. So now I have all my pictures right now. We just go and type under it. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to call this one beginning. Change the font or whatever to whatever you would like. And do that for everyone. Under your pictures, of course. So the beginning, of course, is going to be this one. Then my next one's going to be chapter 2, and then so on and so on. And my last picture is going to be end. like so. Alright, so then now remember to set them all to smart objects, like how we did with our menu screen. And like so, command click smart object. And then let's not forget about our main menu or back to menu screen. Let's just put main menu, because then that will link us back to our main menu screen, the first one we created. And then play all button, just in case if they just wanted to play the entire piece again. Alright, play all. There you have it. Remember to set them to smart objects also. Never forget about that, because then once you go into Encore, you won't be able to convert them to buttons if they're not smart objects. Alright, so now, once you're done with that, go back to Encore and... well, first save it, of course. Yeah, you have to save it. Then you drag that into your menus on Encore. From there, it pops up, and you can see, there you go, your menu and your scene selection are there. You can select your project, and you can see the entire things you have in your project. Alright, so you go to your objects. Well, actually, you command click and select play. And now you go to your object, convert to button, or command B. So remember, okay, so that will pop up. Okay, that link means what it will play or what it will lead to once you click on it. So now you can see sequence 1 is what's actually on the timeline. Now I just click on play again, and then that link, you hold it down, you press it, hold it down, and it creates a whip, and you bring that whip all the way to your sequence 1. Like so. So now that button created a portal to what it will lead to once you click on it. Okay. So now let's do the same thing with scene selection. I just sped up a bit because we don't want to see all this. Because it's the same thing for scene selection also. Okay, so now if you click on the top in the middle, it says flowchart. Your flowchart will actually take you to the whole project and what your disk is going to lead to. So right now it has the disk and then sequence 1 directly next to it. And actually we need to bring the how-to menu before the sequence 1. So in order to do that, I actually messed up a bit. But you actually just need to bring the whip down from sequence 1. And then it takes it off, and then you just drag back your menu screen back up onto the disk, and then it creates it for you. Okay, so then from there you can go back to your scene selection, or your scene selection, and then you convert all of them to buttons like how we did for our menu, our how-to menu first. Alright, remember to set your links. Your main menu is going to go to your how-to menu, play all, it's just going to go to your video. Okay, so now the beginning, select beginning, convert to button. And there it is, do it for all or whatever. Okay, so now beginning, your link is actually going to go to your chapter point on the bottom in your sequence. That's what you're going to do for every chapter. You just set it to this chapter, which is really cool, I think. Alright, so let me just speed up again. Alright, so if you go to your flowchart, you'll see what everything is set to play and set to do. And I mean, you could see how crazy it starts getting. Imagine having 30 chapter points in a movie. This is what they'd see. Alright, so you see that now. You can go back to your project. And you actually can preview what your video would look like. So then you could click on it, just mess with it, see if everything's working out right. And you see it's working perfectly. So now you exit and return, or exit here, either one. And then actually I'm going to show you guys how to add music to your menu screens. Just go to YouTube and then YouTube to MP3. Like so. You have it open. Alright, YouTube Converter. I wouldn't really recommend using this one, but I mean, it works. It works sometimes. Just be careful. Alright, YouTube, I'll just type in She Knows, I guess, by J. Cole. It's up to you what music you want. I'm just doing it just for fun. Alright, and I get the song. I'll click instrumental. There you go. Alright, if it loads, okay. I just recorded download. Alright, so it downloaded. Now you go to your search. And then you search for downloads, actually. And then your downloads folder should show up right there. And you open it, and then you can see I had already downloaded a song. And I think I'm just gonna use this one. I'll use both of them just to show you guys. Alright, so I just drag it to my how-to stuff, because in case you need to move your entire folder somewhere, it's all in the same location. Okay, so now what you can do is go back to Encore, and then select your music and just drag it onto your project. Alright, so now you can close this, of course. You don't want your computer overheating. Okay, so click your menu screen. You can see all this stuff that pops up. Go to motion, actually, and then your audio. Remember to click and hold, then drag it to your song, and like you can see. So now scene selection, the same thing. Alright, let's see. I want to actually use this other song that we just downloaded. Okay, there you go. Now we have it. Now we just do the same thing we did before. Alright, so let's go to motion, audio. There you go. Now you can play and see? It's pretty cool, isn't it? Alright, scene selection, just to see if our song actually went to our scene selection also. Oh, and it's working. So, that's nice. Alright, so then from there, once you've checked it, you can actually go ahead and go back to your flowchart and name your project. I'm gonna name mine, I'm gonna name it Legacy Left Behind. That's what I'll name it. And set and everything. Okay, so now you can do a command click on your disk. There you go, like so, and then build. From there, you wait till it pops up, and okay, we know we have a disk. Remember to put your disk in, or else it's not gonna burn onto anything. Okay, so format DVD, output DVD disk. Just remember to always have it like that. Okay, check your project. This is amazing because it actually tells you what you did wrong. Okay, so I have 2 errors, and you can see. Alright, so I click on it, and you can see on the right, once I move everything out of the way, you'll be able to see. Let me just move it. Okay, you'll see, you just click it again. Let me just move this down. Alright, so this is what's wrong. My menu remote is not set. So then I'm gonna just set it to default. Let me just set it to default. Alright, so then next I just click Okay, default for the end action also. Okay, so now they all have end action. So once the video finishes, it's gonna go back to the menu, and the same thing will happen for the rest of the things. Okay, so now you can check it again, and if it's perfect, well, it's perfect, and nothing will pop up. Alright, and now your destination, just leave it as so. Your rate speed should always be 8x, so then you can actually choose like the number of copies and stuff. But I mean, it's up to you. Alright, your size 4.7, you can leave it like that. That's as much as an actual CD can take. Alright, you can actually choose region codes and then like unlimited copies, no copies, 1 copy is allowed. It's up to you. If you don't want people to copyright your own work, that's a pretty good one. And alright, don't mess with the rest of the things. You can set it to actually play in regions and stuff, which is pretty cool. Like if people from Australia you can set it to them not be able to watch it. Okay. From there, you check if everything's okay for you, and now you just build it. Alright. There you go. Come on. Okay. So now it's building, and I'm just gonna fast forward this. There you go. Okay. So it's done. Your disc will pop out, and you should just play it to see if it works, and if it works, and you did everything correctly. Well, I hope you guys learned something with this video. I'm not professional at this, but I try my best to learn all this to show you guys. And if you guys have any questions or comments, just let me know. Thank you. Well, hope you guys have fun making your first video using Encore and Premiere.